These are some of my favorite films. They inspire me to become a better filmmaker.
Let no man forget how menacing we are. We are lions.
Do you need to go to film school to make films like this?
Captain, my captain.
Sit down, Mr. Anderson.
Come on, I want you to do it. I want you to do it. Come on, hit me. Come on, hit me. Come on, hit me. Hit me.
No one could possibly understand the depths of you. But you presume to know everything about me because you saw a painting of mine. You ripped my fucking life apart. You're an orphan, right? You think I'd know the first thing about how hard your life has been? How you feel? Who you are? Because I read Oliver Twist? Does that encapsulate you?
So I think that the first place that I discovered my love for films and movies, and my first experience with film as an art form or anything like that, was at the movie theater that used to be in my mall. There was a previous one even before that called the Twin West Cinemas, and I'd probably take you guys there to show you, but the building no longer exists. So this is kind of where it all started. I think I saw Finding Nemo here, was one of the movies that I saw. I probably went and saw the first Star Wars movie. So Star Wars: The Phantom Menace, I think, was the movie that I saw, and yeah, that was probably my first experience with movies and why I love them so much. And it's because I got exposed to them at such a young age. I mean, I went here when I was under 4 years old, so it's kind of weird to come back because the mall is basically empty. There's barely anything that even happens here anymore. There's no stores or anything really. This is what it currently looks like. That's where it used to be. That's where the theater used to be, over here in the other side of JCPenney. But yeah, it was just a 2-screener. The movie theater didn't even have, sorry, it's really bright, so I'm gonna throw my sunglasses on. The movie theater didn't even have stadium seats. So all the seats were just on the floor, which is kind of weird. They don't really make theaters like that anymore. So I'm gonna take you guys to the next space, which is where I worked for high school and where I watched the majority of the movies that I've seen in my life. So yeah, we're gonna end up there. So this is Amc Galesburg 8, and this was built in 2003. So when I was 5, this was the theater that I pretty much have gone to since I was 5. I started working here when I turned, I think when I was 16. And that really skyrocketed my interest in movies. I saw every movie that came out because it was free, and it's my favorite thing to do. So I'm bringing you around to all these places because it all played a big part in why I'm making YouTube videos now, and why I want to eventually be able to make my own movies, like feature films or even television shows or something like that. So is film school the answer? And I think that is a tough question. I didn't go to film school, obviously. Do I regret not going to film school? Kind of, and kind of not. It's like a double-edged sword. Because when you go to film school, it's kind of hard to get a job in anything other than film, and it is really hard to get a job in the film or entertainment industry because it's so competitive. I would have loved to have had the knowledge and the education of a film degree or an acting degree or something of that sort. And I think that I would have loved school even more than I already did if I would have went. I think that when you go to college, they push you to go into things that you don't really know, and you don't get to try out different things, and it's kind of a bad thing. I mean, that's why a lot of people don't graduate, is because they go and they're like, oh, they don't know what they're gonna do. So I think that the answer, or whatever, I think that the video is going to be called like "fuck film school?" or whatever. Like, do you need film school to work in the industry, to make videos for people, to work for a YouTube channel, or to work in film? And the answer is not always. You don't need it. But it does help a lot. I mean, most Academy Award winning filmmakers have filmmaking degrees, I would imagine. I don't know if that's true. Maybe it's not, and I just don't know. But for example, like the movie Peanut Butter Falcon, it was directed by these two guys. I can't remember their names. I'll link it, or I'll write it on the screen somewhere, like around here. It was a movie that was very critically acclaimed, and those guys didn't go to film school. They just read books on how to write screenplays. Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, they wrote the movie Good Will Hunting, and it was their first screenplay, and they won the Academy Award for Best Screenplay. So I think that film school, and I think that I would have loved to go into film school. I don't think it's completely necessary. So what I have done instead is I am taking Casey Neistat's film school, which is a month-long class on Monthly, where you're gonna learn where I'm gonna learn his whole process for how he makes movies. And he's made movies for studios, and he's made a TV show for HBO. And then he's one of the most popular YouTubers of all time. So, do I wish I would have gone to film school? Yes and no. But do I think that it was fully necessary for me to hopefully be able to work in film someday? No, because there's a huge amount of people. I mean, probably not the majority, it's probably the minority, but of people that have made it in the film industry, and they didn't go to film school. So I'm just going to keep making movies, watching movies, learning about movies, watching TV shows, looking up shot lists, trying to make cinematic stuff. And I'm going to do my best. I'm going to give it my all, and I'm going to go for it. So this is a kind of a nostalgic video of where I got my love for movies, some of my favorite movies, things like that. So if you want to see any more content from me, if you have any movies that you love or anything like that, leave me a comment, maybe like the video. And if you could, it'd be really awesome if you subscribed. I really appreciate it. See you in the next one. Bye.